Hey, Liam Ward here at LearnTheHarmonica.com. Today we are learning Pink by Aerosmith on a C diatonic harmonica. You'll see I've got my limited edition Pink version. This is a Hohner Special 20. I'll put a link in the description to the standard version of this, which actually just has a black comb, if you want to buy one. But you can play any diatonic harmonica, ideally in the key of C, because that's the key you'll need to play along with the original. Okay, so there's an amazing harmonica intro to this song, so let's go through it line by line. So line A is simply... Okay, so he's bending into the note on a 4-draw bend that releases to a 4 and 5 draw double stop. So that means playing 4 and 5 together, so you're loosening your mouth a little bit. You hear there's two notes that kind of clash. Now, if you can't bend note, I'll put a link to a video on bending. Also, check out a free trial of my online school where I've got loads of lessons and a whole course on bending. Okay, so he's bending up from that 4 draw into that double stop, then kind of bends down on the double stop and then goes to the blow. So luckily you get to breathe out. Okay. So that's line A, and then line B. Okay, so there's again that bending from a 4-draw bend into the double stop 4 and 5, and it kind of does that 6 times. So you've got... And on that last one, he sort of bends down again, but it's very quick. So I've put it in there, but it's not a separate thing. You're not going... It's just a quick little... Just a little subtle into that bend. And then finishing on the blow again. And again, that's a double stop. So there's a roughness, a looseness to this. Now, he's quite an accomplished player, as you'll see in the later licks. So it's not through lack of technique. He's choosing to play those double stops to get that dirty sound with what he's playing here. So line C is a variation on the previous lines, but we've got... So again, he's kind of riffing on that same idea. I've tabbed it as the 4-draw bend into the double stop and then back into a 4-draw bend. Kind of like that. If I really slow it down, but it's more of a feel thing than a precise attempt at those notes. Not knocking his technique at all, he's a good player, but kind of like that. But I've tabbed it out as I have. And then we've got 3 more of those. Wah, wah, wah. So again, it's that 4-draw bend into a 4 and 5. By the way, every time I say 4 and 5 together, that double stop, they're not always exactly the same. So they're not always completely even between the 4 and the 5. Now, that's up to you how you want to do it. Some of them, like in line B, I think some of them are a bit cleaner. It's up to you, but they're not entirely clean 4-draw notes or 5-draw notes. Anyway, so line C. So we're finishing on that blow, again, the 4 and 5 blow. And then we get onto line D, which is really, really cool. Okay, so lines D and E are really cool. I'm going to play them together because they kind of come as a pair. You could tab them as one line if you like, but I think there's a lot going on and it's helpful to us as learners to split it up. But I'm going to play it together so you can hear how they link together. So this is D and E together. That's cool, isn't it? Especially that syncopated doo-ba-da, 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 doo-ba-da. It's really cool. Okay, so line D, we've got 2-draw, and then we've got that kind of repeated 3-note lick that is almost like a syncopated sort of triplet over this. So I've tabbed that as 3-draw full step bend, 3 draw, 4 draw. Now you want to try and make those as smooth as possible, because when you listen to it, you've got that do-ba-da, 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 do-ba-da. So you want to try and get that bent note as smooth as possible. Again, check out my lesson on bending if you need to, and also check out my school where you can take a free trial of all of my courses, including a bending course. But he plays, let's see, 5 of those 3-note loops. So you've got and that's our line D. Now it runs straight on into line E, but I think it's really important to isolate that part and work on that line, because those 3 notes are tricky to get over and over. Luckily, we're going to do some blow notes in a minute. Oh, and by the way, that 2 draw at the start of the line, maybe play that as a 3 blow. Side note, 2 draw and 3 blow are the same note on a standard tuned harmonica. So sometimes it's tactical or useful to use one or another of them for various reasons. In this case, you might want to use the 3 blow because it's going to get some air out before you do all those draw notes. Anyway, regardless of that, into line E from line D, you'd have now, your choice of 2 draw, 3 blow here is going to be really important for your airflow and your balance of air. So we're going to play 3 draw half step bend, 3 draw full step bend, and then I would advise you to play the 3 blow, because that's going to help you at this point. Then 2 blow, 3 blow, and then we've got a 3 draw half step bend, but he kind of bends into it, so it's got that dwa sound to it. So it's not like dead on, he's not going bam, 3 draw half step bend. He's sort of starting a bit flat and releasing. So I've written it as a bit in brackets where you're kind of starting on the 3 draw full step bend and then going up to the half step. He does that twice, then he goes back to the full step, but really plays it this time, hits it really nicely and full. And then again, I advise the 3 blow. You could play the 2 draw, but I think you've just done so many draw notes that you'll probably appreciate doing the 3 blow. So line E. And I suspect he's probably using 3 blow most of the time, if not all of the time, in those lines for the reason of your airflow. Okay, so quite a lot to take in, especially on those last 2 lines, but a really cool lick. If you want to hear the original song, I'll put a link in the description. I didn't play along with it in this video because YouTube has got increasingly unhappy with people playing recordings of other people's songs in videos. So that is why I haven't done it, although it would be really useful for you to go and play along with the official video. I've put a link in the description to that. I hope you've enjoyed looking at Pink by Aerosmith with me today. It's a really cool song. Let me know your comments on the song. How are you getting on, and what other songs would you like me to cover in my lessons? If you're keen to improve your single notes, your bending, to learn a load more songs, then check out the link in the description to my online harmonica school. I'm offering you a free trial at the moment, so go and check that out and see if it's for you. Good luck with your practice. I'll see you again soon for another harmonica lesson. Cheers.